can make it from the first pick, presumptively, all the way to Mr. Irrelevant. California Almonds, own your everyday, even on draft day. Joe?
Maybe lacking something that was needed for that licensure, that they can take that. There also are many programs that encourage folks to come from other countries and help support them in that transition. It's worrisome to...
Esperanza, hermano, ¿qué tú crees de esto? Tú siempre tienes palabras alentadoras, tú siempre dices la verdad, tú siempre te expresas de una manera positiva. Dime.
저기 데보라입니다. 또 데니스란 이름도 있죠. 데니스는 데니라고 부르고요. 다노.
De hoy, altruismo, no mirando cada uno por lo suyo propio, sino cada cual también por lo...
Nunca le vi lógica para decirle algo a un amigo, tener que hablarle encima en la cara, donde te sienta el contenido de tu ADN. Yo nunca le vi sentido a eso. Ahorita tú preguntabas que a qué la gente venía a los Estados Unidos.
Sometimes that's a good place to just surf ideas, surf what's going on in the general populace, what's going on in people's minds. AM radio, mate. You remember AM radio? I have one. And I proudly support this in my pocket every once in a while. When I walk around, you see, like the old men sit on the chair, they sit on the bench and they listen to their AM radio. And sometimes you just listen, man. In New York, a lot of it is Spanish, but not really. I don't know who these people are. Listen to the commercials.
Home Loans, Mike and Brian and the team at Fellowship have been around the ups and downs of interest rates and the challenges. Give them a call. Special toll-free number.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man.
6453. You're going to reach somebody at Fellowship Home Loans who doesn't...
Oh, yeah. So, Mark's Conde reporting. Good morning, everybody. So, talk about some stuff. The big move. Trump suspends U.S. immigration. Holy shit. That's a big story, right? Saw that shit about 10:05 last night. I was sitting here doing my usual nothing, just surfing around, and I see a fucking tweet come by. Trump suspends U.S. immigration, blames save jobs and the invisible enemy. So there's not much to really talk about there, but we'll analyze his tweet. And we'll just go through the usual police state, the evolution of a police state in the U.S. Some states are fighting back. Governors now have the right to put people back to work. Trump is taking the other side of it. He's stepping away, saying, no. It's the governors. I never said quarantine. It's the governors now. It's up to the governors to loosen up the quarantine, right? But those governors, they want that money, man. Lock it down. Get that money. So look at all that shit right now, man. Look at all that shit right now. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Good morning, everybody. What's up? Vinny DiMartini in the house. Rebel Rouser, Raymond Duncan. Hello, everybody. Back in the good thing about doing the studio version of Marcus in the Morning is that there's no risk of getting my ass kicked, which was stepping in human feces on the ground. That's what's good about it. Or crashing on a bicycle or getting bullied by the police. Right? It's much safer in here, right? This is where I prefer to be. Nathan Purvis in the house. Tobacco Row. What's up, Jeff? Tobacco Row in the house. Diaz, Joel Whitworth, Brandon Sanders, CV. How you doing, CV? And Raymond Duncan. Good morning, everybody. Ian Clay. Stinky Moon. Tracy Bina. Is that a spin-off of Tracy Bean? Tracy Beans? Tracy Bina. Hey, so everybody, good morning, everybody. Let's wait some people get here. Some people here. Stop, man. Let's fucking start, man. Let's go, man. So, we'll start with a ass kicking. Look at this sloppy cop. Watch this sloppy cop. If you're a cop, man, you better be tough. you better be, if you sign up to be NYPD, you better be tough, right? Or you can get you get KO'd. Watch this cunt kick this lady got. Watch
This incident caught on camera. A suspect kicking an NYPD officer,
this.
forcing her to fall onto
Damn.
the tracks near the subway station. Officers try to detain
man.
the suspect after police say he spit
broke
on
her
them.
arm. It's
That
not even
officer
funny.
was able to safely
Boom.
get back on the
Oh,
platform,
shit, if there was a
but
train
suffered
coming, it was
broken
over.
wrist. Overseas now to Tokyo,
Wow.
homeless advocates
Let's
are
watch that
calling
again,
on
man.
city
Wasn't that
officials
exciting,
along
man?
with
It's
the
fucking
index
crazy.
and this
Watch.
incident caught on camera. A suspect kicking an
I've never seen
NYPD
anything like
officer, forcing her to fall onto the tracks there in the subway station. Officers try to
damn.
detain the suspect after police say he spit on them. That officer was able to safely get back on the platform, but suffered a broken wrist.
What a
Overseas now to
fucking
Tokyo,
tragedy, man.
homeless advocates are
If you ever seen that live, man, that would be disturbing, right? But what's the moral of the story, right? The moral of the story is I don't know, man. You gotta, if you're gonna take somebody down, you better make sure they're fully down and make sure you're in shape to take a little kick like that. That lady got that was a minor kick from some punk on the ground and drove her. What happened to the training, man? This looks like a flaw in training, man. So here's a follow-up story. I wanted to do this first, and we'll get into the whole Trump tweet. It's not much, but we'll talk about that. Let's look at some of the other crap that's going on here. NYPD confiscates drone belonging to freelance photojournalists documenting New York City's mass burials. All right, so you remember the myth, the myth, the legend about New York City burying the homeless, burying coronavirus victims in parks. And one of those parks happened to be Hart Island. They threw out that name, Hart Island. People who don't know what Hart Island is think it's a city park, and it's not a city park. It's an island. It's Potter's Field. It's an island off City Island in the Queens fucking Sound or whatever. It's still New York City. And you remember that guy who he was operating a drone, and he got some video footage of the burials. Big deal. There's nothing really to see there because those burials go on anyway, and they are controlled by Department of Corrections. The Rikers Island inmates come over by boat, and they bury bodies. Why? Because it's a job. They probably get paid a little better than most inmates. They get to spend the whole day on the boat. Yeah. They drag a couple of bodies. They throw some dirt on some dead bodies. They have a nice meal. And then they go back to jail, and they live in a separate part of the jail. They live in a workers' part. If you work in jail, you get treated better, especially in New York City. In Rikers Island, if you're part of the working team that paints the bars, sweeps, all kinds of shit, right, that they do inside jails, make stuff. You go, you do your job, and then you're not treated like scum. If you don't want to work, then you get to work. So the point is, I digress. The point is that so these guys are doing their business, right? And this jackoff, right? He got caught. He's not actually a jackoff. He's actually not within his rights to operate a drone in New York City. That's illegal. But listen to what the police did. By now, many Americans have probably seen the photos of mass graves being dug in New York's Hart Island, a small island in the Bronx that has for more than a century served as a burial ground for New York City's unclaimed bodies. Over the past weeks, see, that also makes sense. Why are the morgues holding unclaimed bodies? Why not pass them on to Hart Island? What's the big deal? They're dead. Put them in the ground. You're not going to do autopsies? We learned by being up by the medical examiner. Remember, I asked the cop there, and he said, "Oh, we're not doing autopsies." We're not doing autopsies. So if you're not doing autopsies, what are you saving the bodies for? Put the bodies in the ground. So anyway, but this guy didn't discover anything new. It's not like Epstein Island where we saw things for the first time. We saw that wild temple and in the Jewish colors, blue and white, and the fucking Jew thing on there. Right, we saw things for the first time on Epstein Island, but on Hart Island we didn't see shit. But the NYPD doesn't like that. Over the past few weeks, the city has accelerated the burials taking place at the island. Perhaps it was the tremendous public response to certain photos, clearly taken with an aerial drone, that drew the NYPD interest. So I don't know if I said it, but the NYPD arrested the guy while he was taking off for another drone run. Because the New York Post reported Sunday, NYPD has seized a drone of photojournalists documenting the mass burials on Hart Island amid coronavirus. A photographer, a freelance journalist, presumably intends to circulate the photos to the media. Yeah. Right? He had an FAA license to fly the drone. That doesn't mean anything. It's still illegal to fly in New York City. But except I think maybe you might be able to get away with it if it's on your property, but you can't fly a fucking drone over a city island. You can't do it. Those are the law. That's the law, right? You don't like it, change the law. They gave him a misdemeanor summons for avigation. Avigation. What the fuck is avigation? An ancient city ordinance prohibiting flying anywhere that's not an airport. Avigation. That's sick, man. See, that's police state. That's the definition of police state. Oh, you don't like what you're doing? We pull some archaic law out of our ass and hold it to you and say, yeah, avigation, you fucking misdemeanor. All right. So, aerial photographer, his name is George Steinmetz, who was an FAA license to fly the drone, has an FAA license to fly a drone. I don't think that matters. I could be wrong about that. Had launched his $1,500 device from a City Island parking lot Wednesday to film somber work at Hart Island when he was suddenly stopped. Just minutes after he began, Steinmetz was confronted by a group of plainclothes NYPD officers who stepped out of an unmarked van. The cops confiscated the drone and issued him a misdemeanor summons for avigation, an antiquated law prohibiting aircraft, including drones, from taking off or landing anywhere in New York City that isn't an airport. Now, it's not really a old law. It's actually a new law. It's not an antiquated law. It's actually a law that I was in a park once, and I was sitting there a little too focused by myself, which I usually am, and I had my iPad. I'm sitting down there, and an NYPD cop, I was sitting by the fort, and an NYPD plainclothes, some guy walks by the front of me, right? He's standing there. Right now, I don't know. There's nobody else in the park. Why is this asshole stopping in front of me? Right? I thought, like he's going to try to roll me or something. And he stopped, and then he said, "What are you doing? Are you flying a drone?" I said, "It's none of your fucking business. What am I doing?" And I said, "What are you, a cop?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, no, I'm not driving. I'm not operating a drone." So they do check. He wanted to see what was on my screen because So it is illegal, and they do check for it. So this guy got busted. They took his fucking drone. Here's the shots. Remember the shots? There's the pictures that he got. He got some stunning imagery, right? But it's nothing new, right? Mass graves, Hart Island, mass graves. Coronavirus has nothing to do with that. It was all hype. It was all riling people up. Oh, they're burying the dead bodies in the park in New York City. They're cops, right? They're probably not even supervised while they're doing it. They just go in there and they do it. Maybe a cop is running the fucking crane over here, right? And they stack the bodies. There's nothing really to see there. Right? So anyway, man. So we don't have it so bad, all right? So you can't photograph the police doing something shady, right? Burying bodies, using criminals to do it. But in Spain, look at this, man. You think we got it bad? Fucking look at this, man. If you're in Spain right now watching this, I want to talk to you. I want to bring you on to Marcus in the Morning. I want to be your friend. I want to hear your story. And if you have Skype set up, kindly send me something. Send me a note through email. And let me know that you're in Spain and you're part of this lockup, because I would love to hear your story, how severe it is and what's going on there. English required. I don't speak Spanish. So if you could do that, if you are watching in Spain or anywhere really where the police state is really cracking down in Europe, I would love to talk to you and find out more about your experience of being outside in the public, because it's very minor here in New York. As I said yesterday, for the first time, and I wasn't even looking for it, for the first time, I've actually seen NYPD cracking down on social distancing. The rule here is stay 6 feet away from people. If you're within 6 feet, put a mask on. That's the rule. And now the NYPD using top brass, apparently police chief, nobody, the guy who said that guy was a police chief, nobody knows if he's a police chief. He could just be a captain. He's probably in a white shirt. They're driving around in a black cop car, and they're separating people. So, that's how NYPD, they do it gradually. Now they're separating people now. What next? What next? Right? So, but in Spain, $2,000 fine for disrespecting police officers during the lockdown. What qualifies as disrespecting a police officer? Asking them a question that they don't want to hear. Hey, what the fuck, man? Why are you guys enforcing the 6 foot law, the 6 foot rule, de Blasio's 6 foot rule? Rat everybody out, take a picture, and send it to 311. Is that what you're enforcing? Is that disrespectful to ask the question? Is it disrespectful to film the police? Is it disrespectful to walk by the police and not say hello? And not say, hello, officer, thank you for your service, motherfucker? What qualifies, or is it disrespectful when one of them is tackling you and you kick the other into the train track? That's disrespectful, but what about speech? So it does make you wonder what's going on in Spain. Right? I didn't really read this article. Unlike other European countries, people in Spain aren't even allowed to go out to exercise during the coronavirus quarantine. Citizens are only allowed to visit their nearest grocery store, and only one person can be in a vehicle at a time unless the other person is classed as vulnerable or in a medical emergency. The lockdown is enforced via a network of roadblocks at which drivers are quizzed as to their intentions by aggressive police, some of whom carry guns. A physiotherapist was hit with a €600 fine, €600 fine, going to see a client after police stopped him when he was driving home. The $2,000 fine for disrespecting an officer is obviously completely arbitrary and easily open to abuse as a form of revenue generating. Wow. So, what's this? There's a video. Oh, here they are. Here's the police tackling somebody. They're tackling somebody. Oh my God, mira. So, police are being pretty brutal in Spain, man. It's fucking crazy, man. So, yesterday, that was my evidence right there. I was walking around the park and I watched these two guys. They're playing chess. These chess guys are always there. They're black vampires. That's what they're called. Some other guy coined the name black vampires. But so they're sitting there. This guy's reading his newspaper, minding his own business. They're sitting there playing. The gig here is these are jailhouse chess players, right? They'll what you do is the chessboard is open, and it's a business. You sit down, and if the guy beats you, you pay $2. It's $2 a game. If you win, you get to play again. All right, so you could sit there all day. If you could beat this guy, but they cheat, man. They fucking cheat. There's a video circulating around, right? This chess master, right? What they did was they sat down with one of these guys, and they knew the guy was going to cheat. You're not going to beat the chess master. The guy's a grandmaster, fucking wins tournaments, right? And he sat down at one of these tables and played the guy, and they were filming it from a distance from 3 different angles to watch the cheat. So he starts to the guy starts to they start to play chess, and the grandmaster gets a significant lead on him, and then the fucking guy does a move that like he distracts the thing and knocks over a piece and steals another piece right off the table. It's pretty crazy, man. They caught the whole thing on film. Right? The guy's like, "Oh, whoa! What is that? A magic trick?" So, but that's what these guys are doing, right? And now it is odd that you could call it racism. You could call it, targeting people. They're targeting the black vampires. It is a business. and I did observe that car. So this is the first time. This is, I guess, exclusive. I've heard nobody else in media confirm that NYPD was doing such a thing, right? I've never, I didn't see it up until now. So if you're joining us late, Marcus Conte in the morning, Marcus Conte reporting over here, and we're going to talk about the Trump thing, the Trump tweet soon. It's not much, but it's a lot. He said a lot at 10 p.m. last night, right? So let's just get through all these other sub stories. Just snap a photo. And again, I was talking about this yesterday when I was walking around. I just wanted to show, let's listen to de Blasio in his own words, enforcing the snitch rule. Now, that is very reminiscent of communist-oriented countries where it's better to snitch. If you don't snitch on people who are violating the police state, then you're part of the problem too, and you can be persecuted. Right? They get their children to do it, get the kids to rat out. So listen to de Blasio in his own words. Is it working? Yeah, it's working.
New Yorkers, you have been extraordinary at social distancing. And let me tell you, it has taken every fiber of our beings to figure out how to do this because we're warm, emotional people. We're used to being close to each other. We're used to being packed into subway cars, and we've had to do the exact opposite and figure out how to keep distance. It's not natural for us. It's not normal for us, but you've done it. You've done an amazing job. Now, look, thank you, everyone who's done it the right way, but we still know there's some people who need to get the message. And that means sometimes making sure the enforcement is there to educate people and make clear we got to have social distancing. So now it is easier than ever when you see a crowd, when you see a line that's not distanced, when you see a supermarket that's too crowded, anything, you can report it right away so we can get help there to fix the problem. And now it's as simple as taking a photo. All you got to do is take the photo and put the location with it, and bang, send a photo like this, and we will make sure that enforcement comes right away. Text the photo to 311-692, and action will ensue. Enforcement will come to get the help we need, or you can use the 311 app, send that photo there, and you'll make sure immediately there's follow-up. Look, this is important. I want to keep reminding people, it's about saving lives. Sending that photo in is going to help make sure that people are kept apart, and that's going to stop the disease from spreading, and that's going to save lives.
Wow, it's heavy, man. Look what the Zero Hedge is saying. Mayor Bill de Blasio has some totalitarian tips for snitching on your local social distancing, your social distancing denying neighbors. Ooh. And that plays into the fact that de Blasio is in charge of the NYPD. As the mayor of New York, he's in charge of it, and there you see it. So he's out blabbing to snitch on your neighbors, and all of a sudden the police show up in the park to clear people out. Just, you got to keep tabs on this shit. That's all I'm saying, right? You can't let the dictators have too much fun, right? You got to call them out, man, right? Stick a camera in their face. Fuck you. I'm News Corp. I'm allowed to be here. Stay away from me, 6 feet away. I'm doing my job, right? I'm essential worker, right? If you arrest me, if you give me a fine, I'll see you in Supreme Court. All right, I'll take you all the way to the fucking end, man. Never, it won't stop, right? All right, violation of my First Amendment rights. Right? Hundreds of protesters. Now, this is the way you're supposed to do it, right? These people got the right idea. Hundreds of protesters defy coronavirus lockdown orders in Pennsylvania. I think we've seen Ohio so far. We've seen other states. But this one's Pennsylvania. Hundreds of people openly denied a ban on mass gatherings and federal safety guidelines during a demonstration Monday against Pennsylvania coronavirus lockdown. Protesters rallied in front of the state capitol in Harrisburg, where they crowded together on the steps and sidewalks in defiance of social distancing guidelines, recklessly dismissing their own health risk and risk to others, many without even face masks, according to a video. So that's again, New York Post is a right-leaning publication. I only reference it because they have a good eye for a story. It's not necessarily, I don't necessarily agree with the opinion of the story, but they definitely have an eye for it.
300 miles an hour, that's where I feel normal.
You gotta
Having
watch
an
this
annuity tells me my retirement is protected.
Sorry about that.
Protected
Let's learn about
lifetime income
retirement.
from an annuity can help your retirement
Okay, you
plan
win.
ride out turbulent times.
You-
Learn
you
more
win.
at protectedincome.org.
Thanks. Patriots. Patriots out. Open all bars. That's a good sign. A lot of horns honking, clapping, American flags, Trump signs, patriotic music. It's good, right? It's good stuff. This is what you got to do, man. Shut down the police state. Shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. No. No.
Alpha Romeo
No.
wants to.
God damn it. The push on the commercials is ferocious today. Hundreds of people openly defied the ban on mass gatherings and federal safety guidelines during a demonstration in Pennsylvania. Good for Pennsylvania, man. It's good for you, man. Also, in many Georgia businesses may reopen by Friday. What's today? Tuesday. So by Friday, Tennessee eyes next week as well. This is good. All right. So apparently Trump said, governors, do what you got to do. And governors are doing it. What about New York? We'll be last online, I bet. Many of Georgia's businesses shuttered to curb the spread of the coronavirus outbreak may reopen their doors by Friday, and Tennessee has similar plans set next week. Good. Georgia Governor Brian Kempf announced on Monday that gyms, hair salons, bowling alleys, and tattoo parlors were among the locales that'll be allowed back. You can't survive without a tattoo parlor, as long as they follow strict social distancing and hygiene requirements. Well, tattoos are very hygienic. They got that shit down with science, man. You're not in the old days when the tattoo parlors were in the back of a bar or in someone's basement or in someone's apartment. That's allegedly the fear in New York was that it was spreading HIV, and the illegal tattoo parlors of New York. Tattoos were illegal in New York, I think, up until maybe 20 years ago, but now they're everywhere. Tattoo parlors are everywhere, and they're very clean. They use one set of works or whatever, one set of I don't have any tattoos. One set of fucking needles or whatever it is, the inker. And then they throw it out, I guess, right? Or they sanitize it, right? So what was I saying, man? I forgot what I was saying. In the same way, let's check in with AM Radio and find out what's going on, man. Find out what's going on in the real world.
Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
So that's issue one. Then we've got to use that information to make sure that we are doing neighborhood-specific, hyper-local outreach. And we're doing that in a number of ways. We know that many of the people that are most at risk are also folks who suffer from the digital divide. So social media campaigns and TV aren't going to reach them. So we put out literally tens of thousands of people.
Texas, VIN number L3187994, model LDB-01, sale ends 4320.
Get Rabbi Joseph Potasnik's new book, Just Give Me a Minute.
Okay.
It's a lot more affordable. There's a wonderful company, Long Island Clean Water. We've all used them here. We've used them here.
Trade out if they want. Yep. And if you're someone who believes that someone's going to trade up to get Tua at 2, which we have seen in a couple months.
Anyway, man, a little digression into AM radio, man. You never know what you're going to hear, right? You never know. You never know what you're going to hear, so you got to tune in and try to find out, man. That's how the collective works, right? It's by random, right? We just happen to be here live on YouTube, and all of a sudden we're listening to some random voice out from I don't know where, telling us I don't know what, and you listen to it, right? And it's just like ooh, it soaks in like a psychic message from I don't know where. Right? I said it's random. That's like aimless wandering, right? You walk aimlessly. Right? I never know where I'm going when I do that aimless wandering thing. When I do the reporting in the city, most of the time I don't know where I'm going. I just set out. I have an unlimited bike So I could use the city bike unlimitedly. So wherever I just kind of roam around on the bike, lately it's new. I just started to do that. And I roam around aimlessly, but I used to walk a lot. Now it's like I could cover more ground with the bike. And you never know where the story is. You just kind of roam, right? You just let your brain and your mind roam. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So anyway, Georgia business may reopen by Friday. Give him a hand, right? That's good stuff, man. We want everybody open up again. Open up. Also, look at this, man. Everybody's running around using all kinds of cleaning. I gotta disinfect my hands, right? Some people don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're gonna make themselves sick. Check this out. Poison control inundated with calls about cleaning products since coronavirus pandemic. Right? Fucking Clorox bleach is very, very corrosive when you mix it with other things. Right? I think if you mix, when you mix like alcohol and Clorox, it creates like a stink bomb or a chlorine bomb. You got to be very careful when you're mixing stuff. Clorox is the worst. It's bleach. Calls to poison control centers have skyrocketed due to incidences related to cleaning products amid the coronavirus pandemic, according to a new report. From January to March, poison centers reported a 20% increase in calls compared to the same in 2019. So 20% increase in calls. The data couldn't confirm a definite link between exposure of COVID-19 cleaning efforts. What more of confirmation do you need when you're in a pandemic and the calls go up 20%? I think that's pretty obvious. The time of these reported exposures corresponds to increased media coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic, reports of consumer shortages of cleaning support, blah, 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 blah. There was one line that I liked in here. Oh, yeah. In one case, a preschool child drank hand lotion, right? She was taken to the hospital and had a high blood alcohol level. So a pre-kid teen drank the bottle of Purell and has alcohol and it passed out. The child was admitted to ICU for 2 days. A second case, this is a more interesting one, because this shit could happen. I could see this happening. A second case involving a woman who soaked her produce by filling her sink with bleach, vinegar, and water. After hearing on the news she should clean her groceries before eating them. The combination created toxic gas, chlorine, and she started to choke and had trouble breathing. She made a fucking stink bomb in her kitchen, man. Probably ruined the vegetables too. Right? So, what's up in the chat? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. We're gonna talk about Trump in a second, man. Just give me a break, all right? Fucking gotta talk about Trump, man. Who the fuck wants to talk about Trump, man? It's making some big moves, though. And again, it's just a tweet. We'll talk about it. So, what's up, CV? What's up, Dead Game? Vinny D. Martini in the house, motherfucker. Tracy Bean. Bill West. So, ammonia is really bad for your lungs. I know. Ammonia, that's right. Not bleach. That's what it is. Thank you. Depree McFly says ammonia is really bad for your lungs. When you mix ammonia and bleach, I'm pretty sure that's the stink bomb. That's the one that fucking, I think it could explode. I think it's actually like it starts to bubble and let out toxic gas, right? If you want to kill somebody, right? Or kill yourself. Good morning, Angie TV. Good morning to you, Michael, Chris Mike, CV. So let's keep going. We're speed reading the morning news. So don't do that, man. Just don't fucking do that. My solution is I have little vials of alcohol, just rubbing alcohol. It's 50%, 70%, I don't know. Whatever's on sale in the store, you fill them up, and when you're walking around, you touch something, just give your hands a little squirt, a little wash, boom, you're done. You're clean. If you touch the bike handles, you wash the bike handles with alcohol. That's all it is. Just rubbing alcohol. That's all you need, right? You clean yourself, clean your hands, right? It's better than the mask because that's how you're going to catch it. So also, Take care of yourself. I know it's troubled times. It's people are not used to being alone. They're lonely. People are so lonely. I need a friend. I need someone to talk to. I haven't seen anybody. And then, what happens is people are in that condition and they go out the house and they wind up having a fight with somebody, or they're arguing and they think, who are you looking at? You're too close to me, motherfucker. Get away from me. Get away from me. You're going to give me the coronavirus. God damn it. Oh, you don't have a mask on, motherfucker. People get crazy. People get nuts. But don't go this way. Don't drink yourself to death. Prescriptions, and don't pill yourself to death. Prescriptions for anti-anxiety meds spike amid coronavirus, new report finds. Wow. How surprising is that? How surprising is that, man? Pharmaceuticals love this shit, man. That's why I keep the fucking doors closed, man. Keep pharmaceuticals are making a lot of money. Keep everybody locked up, man. Buy more pills, man. More pills. People are gonna come out of this thing with massive habit. Coronavirus quarantine has contributed to a surge in the demand for prescription tranquilizers and sleep aids in the United States, as Americans continue to feel on edge about the uncertainty of the disease, according to a new research report. Look at these stats. Look at this. Inescapable. All right, watch this. The largest spike was in prescription for anti-anxiety drugs, which rose 34%. 34% from mid-February to mid-March. 1 month spike per pharmacy. Per the pharmacy, benefit management. All right, so Express Scripts gives us the statistic. 34.1% spike. That's crazy. February 16th to March 15th, prescriptions for antidepressants, so anti-anxiety drugs are 1. Antidepressants rose 18.6%, while sleeping meds rose 14%. So those are inescapable numbers. That shit is having a toll on people's psyche. This analysis shows that Americans are turning to medications for relief, demonstrates the serious impact COVID-19 may be having on our nation's mental health. Protests have erupted in several states, including California, Michigan, Ohio, and New Jersey, over the extension of stay-at-home orders that will run into next month. WHO is also facing backlash for its perceived failure to recognize the viral threat during its infancy, and has been accused of being complicit in the Chinese cover-up. WHO is complicit in the Chinese cover-up. What a fucking crock of shit. Like the Chinese, as far as I'm concerned, the report that COVID-19 was created in a lab in Wuhan and leaked out is a CIA story. It was a story generated by the Washington Post, who takes their information directly from unnamed sources inside of the deep state, namely the CIA, propaganda pieces. They give it to the Washington Post and the other jerk-off newses like CNN and MSNBC and The Hill, and all of them jump on the story, and that's how they report it. So you got to look when you say, like I saw that guy in the park yesterday, right? He said, oh, yeah, the Wuhan disease, right? It came out of Wuhan. No, it's confirmed. No, it's not confirmed because it's based on a story that comes from a unreliable, historically wrong publication like the Washington Post. It's not news. It's not a news media. It's a propaganda machine. So did I make the point there? So anyway. So stop taking drugs, man. Don't, we'll cut down. Don't double down. Don't double down. Don't drink a whole 6-pack. Drink 1 beer. Drink 1 beer. Smoke a half a joint, man. Go outside and exercise. How about that, man? Walk around. Ride your bike. Do some exercise. Do some deep breathing, right? Go outside, breathe fresh air. Meditate. And it's hard. I know. It's hard. It's hard, but you got to do it. You're going to kill yourself. COVID. Hold on a second. Almost choked to death. So here's the big tweet. This is the big news. The big news. In light of the attacks from the invisible enemy Listen to this wording. This is Trump par excellence. This is called so Trump last night tweeted this out at 10:06 p.m. Right? He's out there at 10 o'clock at night in the White House, Eastern Time, and he tweets this shit out. He has made no responses since. Just the tweet. I don't know how many words it is. Maybe 200 words, maybe not even 100 words. All right, listen to this. In light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will sign an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. Wow, that is so amazing what he's saying. There's a couple of things I want to just look at. Right? First of all, in light of the attack, an attack, who's attacking? The invisible enemy. But who is that invisible enemy? Is he implying that it's China? Or is it just coronavirus, which he's blaming on China? Right? I'm just reading into it a little bit because this is all we have. But he is calling it an attack by an invisible enemy. Right? Is the invisible enemy China or COVID-19 or both? As well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens. So it's a twofer. He's saying we got to close immigration because those people over there are bringing this crap to us rather than the other way around, or rather than the evidence that suggests that COVID-19, not COVID-19, but coronavirus was always present in most flus. Right? And he's not saying that. He's saying that it's those people over there that are bringing it in, and by the way, they're taking our jobs. All right? I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend. Temporarily. What does that mean, Trump? Temporarily. What? A month, a year, 10 years, 20 years, forever years? What does temporary mean? Right? You're the president. It has so much ramification when you do something like that. What specifically are you talking about? It creates a clusterfuck at immigration offices, but airports. You're not allowed to come into our country anymore. Fuck you. You got corona, and they put the shit on you, the heat sensor on your temples, see if you got a fever. You got to go, and you go back around on the line. You get back on the plane, you get out of there. Or they disappear you in the back and they bury you at Hart Island. Temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. Wow, just wow. Look at some of the comments. No doubt. Let's see. So let's play liberal or conservative. You read the comment. I like to play sometimes when I'm out in the street. Right, I play. It's pretty fucked up, but I play friends or homos. When you see two men walking, I'll do it next time. Right, we'll have a friendly game of friends or homos, and it's two men when they're walking down the street, and in New York, and you don't know if they're friends, they're just buddies, or they're sitting down at a table, they're sitting down eating, and they're talking, or sitting at the bench, talking, and you don't know if they're friends or if they're lovers, right? And you gotta read the body language, right? What are they doing? How close? Like when men hug, right? Men, you can give a man a hug, but the bottom parts never touch, right? Dicks never, But when homos hug, it's like this, right? Like the two. Like this, the lower part of the body's touching, but that's like a gay man hug is like this, where the whole body is touching like this. It's fucking gay, man. That shit is homo, right? So if you see that, right, that's a homo, as opposed to friends, right? Friends will talk. Hey, no, fucking this guy. Hey, what's up, Vinny? What are you fucking doing, you fucking motherfucker? Right? Hey, go. Right, they're talking. That's like, are they friends or they? So you play friends or homos. So today we're not going to play friends or homos, but let's play conservative or let's play Democrat or Republican. That's funny. All right. No doubt Trump's base is primarily voted by racism. This is why Trump does this every damn time. What's that? Democrat or Republican? It's a fucking liberal Democrat, right? Liberal, I guess not even a liberal. I don't even know what they are anymore, but the leftists. The leftists, right? What's this one? Imagine being this proud of being this racist, says Jeff, whoever. So he's a leftist. These are all leftists, I guess. This is porn to conservatives. I guess it is. You're not invisible. We can see you. You're not invisible. We can see you. So this invisible enemy is here, you race-baiting hate monger. We led the world in cases and deaths. No other country wants U.S. in their country. That's a good point. Close the borders. Stop immigration. The world sighs in relief. You bumbling, incompetent asshat. You gotta love no censorship. Trump can't censor his own board. It's illegal because he's a public servant. Yeah. So anyway, those were all great idea. But wait, and that reminds me, you know exactly who is actually distributing the virus, right? Your so-called supporters. What's this? Trump's wife were immigrants, proving again they'll do jobs Americans won't. Well, that's bad English, right? Trump's wives, both wives. Okay, no, I stand corrected. Trump's wives were immigrants. They were. Ivanka and what was the other one? Ivanka and I forgot his first wife's name. Slips my mind. But anyway, yeah, he's right. They were both. He likes the big blonde from the Yugoslavia, from the Czech. He liked the big Czech women with the blue eye and the blonde hair. Right, Trump. That's what Trump likes, man. That's what Trump's into, man. He's into that shit. So anyway, there's the fucking tweet, right? There's the big tweet. There's the big story. President Trump is suspending immigration to the United States due to coronavirus. Trump said on Monday night that he would temporarily suspend all immigration to the United States due to coronavirus pandemic. The president announced a drastic measure in a post on his favorite social media platform. So we just read it. Right. Trump moved to ban travelers from other countries as the deadly illness continues to spread. The Hill did a little bit more. The Hill had a little more to say about it. Let's read. So let's put the headline. See how the left is spinning it. Trump says he will sign executive order temporarily suspending immigration. Okay. That's true. That's truth. Trump on Monday said he will sign an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration to the United States amid the coronavirus pandemic. An extraordinary move that prompted immediate questions about his timing and scope. The order would mark a stunning use of executive power by Trump, who hours earlier was speaking optimistically about the ability of certain states to begin reopening their economies despite the threat of the virus. It is likely to draw swift legal challenges. Of course it will. Of course. They're going to go crazy. Oh, right. Ivanka and Melania. I'm sorry. Right. The current one. Thank you, Dead Game, right? Ivanka was number one, right? And Melania. I know that. I know the first lady's first name. I know that. I knew it was Melania. I was playing with you. I wanted to see if you knew it. I had a mental block early in the morning, motherfucker. The suspension of all immigration would serve as an extension on the travel restrictions the Trump administration has already imposed on most of Europe, China, Canada, Mexico, and Iran. Look, I don't like this, man. I think it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. You're using, you see, it plays into the base. It does. The liberals, to some degree, are right that Trump is using the opportunity to play into his base, which wants to build a wall, which wants to stop immigration, illegal immigration, or any immigration. They don't like, people that they're not familiar with. They believe in an America First policy, but in many respects, the America First, I'll venture to say that it misses certain important aspects about economy and travel. It's not necessarily that foreigners shouldn't be allowed to come in, but I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say here. But they should be allowed to travel, and spend their money, but they shouldn't be allowed to stay freely and compete with jobs. Right? And we have laws in place that do that. The immigration in New York, for example, is mostly Ecuador, it's mostly Mexico, and they come in and they work in the restaurants where people don't want to. Most people don't want that job anyway, as a pot washer for 12 hours a day for $5. That's the kind of immigration, right? Fucking do the job then. If you want the dishwasher job, do the fucking job, and blame the business that hires them. So the suspension of all immigration would serve as an extension on the travel ban. It's unclear if Trump made other nations aware of the decision before tweeting it out, but his past attempts to clamp down on immigration have led to chaos abroad and U.S. airports. Trump's tweet also did not provide details on when the suspension would go into effect or how long it would last. So that's classic Trump testing the waters. Throw out the tweet and see what kind of backlash you get. See who's for it and see who's against it. It's politics. He's playing politics. He's using a situation to politic. That's what it is. Trump has spent much of the presidency pushing to restrict immigrants into the United States. He has pushed construction of a border wall, implemented policies that limit which migrants can apply for asylum, and overseen the separation of families who crossed into the country illegally. Motherfucker. No, he didn't do that. He oversaw the separation of families just like Obama. That was a policy in place. But he did say, build a wall. We need a wall. Build a wall. The decision to suspend all immigration is sure to draw fury from Democrats and immigrants' rights groups, some of whom have argued the president has continued to push controversial parts of his agenda, even as the coronavirus pandemic receives the bulk of public attention. Democratic officials late Monday accused Trump of using the pandemic as justification to cater to his base with the hardline immigration policy. There's some truth to that, I gotta tell you. You know, you gotta call it when you see it, right? That is true. He's using the pandemic to say, jobs, immigrants, they're taking your jobs, motherfucker, keep them out. This action is not only an attempt to divert attention away from Trump's failure to stop the spread of the coronavirus and save lives, but an authoritarian-like move to take advantage of a crisis and advance his anti-immigrant agenda. We come together to reject this division, tweeted Jacqueline Castro, Democrat from Texas, chairman of the Hispanic Caucus. So they don't like it. The Hispanics don't like it. Immigration has nearly stopped the U.S. Immigration has nearly stopped. Pause. And the U.S. has far more cases than any other country. That's true. So what is your point when you say stop the invisible enemy? They're stealing our jobs. We have the most cases here. Other countries should be worried about us going in there. And those kind of things have those exact ramifications. When this thing is over and you plan a trip and Trump blocks immigrants from, fucking Europe from coming into the U.S., try to, when you buy your ticket, try to get in. Or you try to apply for a visa, see what happens, see what they tell you. Say, no, you're American, go talk to Trump. We can't let you in. That's that tit for tat shit, right? 22 million Americans have lost their jobs in the last month because of the China virus. This is Tom Cotton speaking. Let's play R or D. Is he a Republican or a Democrat? 22 million Americans have lost their jobs in the last month because of the China virus. Let's help them get back to work before we import more foreigners to compete for their jobs. Wow. Stunning, anti-American. What happened to send us you're tired, you're poor? Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Remember America? God bless America. Oh, you remember that place? Remember that place for the Statue of Liberty? Oh, how inviting it was, right? It was fucking. But that's when they were slaves, right? That's when they were, they'll work for free and live in the ghetto. But not anymore. Now that people have rights, it's like, shut the door. Fuck you, man. Who needs you? So, Mo Brooks praised Trump for putting American citizens first. Plays nice to the base. Coronavirus has infected more than 2.4 million people around the world. The U.S. has by far the most confirmed cases at more than 786,000, according to the data from Johns Hopkins. The president has in recent weeks described the U.S. as past the peak in terms of numbers of deaths from the pandemic, making Monday night's announcement even more jarring. He has spoken approvingly of protesters who oppose stay-at-home orders. He has, and other measures meant to limit the spread of the virus, and mused about some states lifting their restrictions quickly with an eye toward reviving the economy. So there's a couple of good points in there being made. One is, I guess the real takeaway is that we have more cases than anybody in the world. What justification does Trump have for limiting immigration into the country? What about travel? What's the difference between, there is a difference, obviously, a difference between immigration and travel. What about travel? Does that mean that just immigrants bring in coronavirus, but not people that are traveling? All right, so Europeans and people in China can travel into the United States on a temporary visa, 6 months or whatever it is, or 3 months or a month, I don't know what it is, a student travel visa, and that's okay. But immigration, those are the ones who have the coronavirus. You see, upon further investigation, how ridiculous it is. It's his ban on all people entering the country. Why did he target immigration? Why? Because it plays into the base. Don't fall for that shit. Right? He's a fucking con artist. The guy's a con artist, right? So there's a tremendous hole in the tweet. Now that we've investigated, let's reread the tweet, right? Let's reread the tweet. In light of the attack from the invisible enemy, right? Now we don't know if it's China or because you got Fox News running round the clock that China is the enemy, or is it the virus itself, or both, as well as the need to protect jobs of the great American citizens. Okay, of course we want to protect jobs of our great American citizens. Of course we do. But the way you're going about it, as well as the need to protect jobs, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration. Upon further investigation, the two have nothing in common. Right? Once you lift the travel ban, once people start moving around again and planes start flying and people start taking trips and the streets are full of tourists, at least where I'm from, what difference? How does limiting immigration have any effect if you don't limit visitation? Is what I'm trying to say. So there you have it, man. That's my take on the tweet, man. On the Trump tweet. Trump tweet. What's up, everybody? Good morning, John. Good morning. Good morning, John Perry Barlow declaration. Good morning. Spoon attack is like a drive-by snuggling. Spoon attack. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Vaccines won't help IgG. I'm sorry, I'm a little late to the chat, man. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me. Bill West is here. Raymond Duncans, Slinky Moon, Weevil Boy. Sterling Price is in the house. Sterling Price, Tobacco Row, and Vinny DiMartini on the wrenches. Thank you guys for your moderation. If you got timed out, I think it's happening a lot less because the dicks are not coming around, man. Moderation is working. Thank you guys for your diligence and your support of this fine message and this community that we're building together, and all these fine people that come here to hear this babbling New York idiot guy babble, tell his truth, speak his truth. Thank you all for for staying in the truth. For staying in the truth. Thank you. Large corporations love immigrants so they can pay them cheap. Of course, they have a private position about this and a public one, says Jason Walsh. Yeah, you're right, man. You are right. Next year, wall will be finished. Vanderloo wants his wall. He wants his wall. Styx does spoon attack. Hey, no, Styx is not allowed to be. We don't speak Styx on this channel, man. He's a conspiracy kook. He's a Satanist, man. Say Styx, Satan Hammer, 666, motherfucker. Saying a motherfucker a whole lot. Gotta stop that, man. So here's another one, right? This plays into the conspiracy theory that, is it a conspiracy theory or is it real? Let's play real or conspiracy theory. That the microchipped vaccine, right? The vaccines have a tracking device. That's the reason why they're promoting these vaccines. So there's another blurb here. I don't know what it is because I didn't read it. Sooner or later, Americans will have. I discover a lot of times when I'm doing this, I'm discovering the article just like you. I'm discovering the news in real time. That's why we do it live. I don't know what the fuck I'm reading half the time. I catch a headline and then say, okay, let's see what's in the headline, right? Let's see what's in there. There's more, right? You got to watch these things, man. These vaccines are no joke. I wouldn't, again, only if I was held down or if I was starving to death and you stuck it in my food would I succumb to a vaccination. Otherwise, again, the scare tactic is going to be this. Because people have historically had vaccines, their immunity system, in my estimation, is weakened. And they are more susceptible to killer viruses as they mutate and as they evolve. Because their bodies are not used to fighting off a simple flu. Because they've prevented that flu from ever entering and create the antibodies necessary to combat that virus. But people who are not vaccinated have those antibodies, and you may be carrying that virus. So the argument will be is that, see, all of the strong people that have the proper immune function are a threat to the people who have succumbed to vaccines and are being sickened by the people who are not vaccinated. You see that argument? You can't be around us because you were not vaccinated, right? But the fact is, you don't need to be vaccinated. The other people need to be vaccinated because their immune systems are compromised. So when someone tells you, if you've never had flu vaccines or any of these vaccinations, and someone comes along and says, "Oh, you need to be vaccinated, mandatory, because you're a threat to us." What does us mean? Us, the people that have been vaccinated, is my point. Right? So you see that? See, that'll be the argument, that there'll be two types of people that are vaccinated and people that are not vaccinated. And the push will be to vaccinate everybody so we're all immune compromised, is the thinking. Right. Sooner or later, Americans will have to choose between freedom and a microchipped vaccine over my dead body. Presently, billions of people around the world are living under mandatory stay-at-home orders, purportedly to help stop the spread of coronavirus. Aside from the question as to whether quarantine is the most effective method of fighting this particular pandemic, what exactly will be required from us before any semblance of normalcy returns? One possible requirement, aside from being discouraged from ever shaking hands again, which I believe is a good idea. We're forever changed in terms of handshakes, in terms of hugs, distance together, drinking out of the same cup, drinking out of a stranger's cup, kissing people on the cheek. All that shit has to change, right? I'm for, you won't see me shaking hands again. I'll be like this. I'll be like this. I'll be like this. I'll be, hey, you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh, yeah, and for you, this one's for you. This one's for you. So this one's for you. Hey, I like this guy. He's cool. Hey, and this one's for you. Right? That's how you handle it, right? So shaking hands is out, man. Fuck that. So What was I saying? Oh, yeah. One possible requirement, aside from being discouraged from ever shaking hands again, is mandatory participation in global vaccine programs. Underwritten by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Big Pharma, and an assortment of other people who supposedly have the best interest of the global citizenry in mind. We should be concerned? You bet your fucking ass. You bet your ass. So it's just a video that they're just pushing this agenda of vaccines and somehow implanting a microchip into this, a some kind of electronic substance or radioactive substance that lives longer than you. When you're in your grave, they'll still be able to chip and see if you're down in the fucking hole over there. All right, they put you in the hole, and they could still 10 feet down. They could still detect you. They could see you from the sky until your body totally deteriorates, and then the worms eat you, and the worms spread your microchipped vaccine. How does that work? Oh, by the way, I got a new website, Marcus Conte reporting in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. I think we went a little over here. Everybody, thank you so much, man. So while you guys are here, right, this is my new website, right? It looks a little shitty, right? I'm having some technical problems putting it together, but I'll overcome my problems, right? I just threw this together in a day. And it's using WordPress. It's a little confusing how to do it. I haven't found the exact template that I like, but I like it simple. Just video. Right? That's how it's going to be, right? Just video. You got my YouTube link here, right? The thing is to redirect people when they Google search, right? And direct people back to the site. So if you're watching this, kindly go to marcusconte.com and help me. Just click on the links. Make sure all the links are working, right? Go to Facebook, right? Just click back and forth, and that helps the search engine. It helps the search engine find you when people all over the country and the world start to hit your site. Google will pick it up, right? And here's my support page. This is the only page I actually worked on. I just put up all my links and talk about Patreon and PayPal, which I like to talk about right now. Become a Patreon of this channel, or make a one-time contribution through PayPal. I'm 100% viewer funded. That's how I make this happen. If you want to see me put my ass on the line out in the street there, I'll probably do it anyway. But, do the right thing, man. Become a Patreon and help spread this truth far and wide. So I'll be adding to the site. I think what I'll probably ultimately do is every video I make, what I'll do is I'll just simply post it to the top. And there'll be a running log so that the Google search engine finds it, and every month archive that and start a new month. Something very simple like that, because I'm a video journalist. That's all I do. I don't want to explain who I am and what I am on a about page, because that's not for me to do. It's not for me to define myself. That's what the crowd does. The crowd can defines who you are and what you do. I just do what I do, right? And what I do is evident in the videos. That's what I do. I make videos, right? I make videos about the news. Today we're riffing on the news. Tomorrow or later today we'll be out, sniffing out some exclusive news, right? Or some made-up news if I feel like it. So anyway, help me out. I already know it looks a little cheesy. If I take some of these words out, it'll be more narrow. And I'm just having a problem with with how it's searched. That's my biggest concern, is how you find it. And since all the videos have a title, as you can see, the Google search engines will find each video separately, which is the idea, because YouTube was shadow banned. I don't even know if this video will be up, and once I hit the take down button, right? Once I end this stream, you won't be able to find the video all day. Right? They'll hide it, the bastards, right? So I want to make it where people can go to my site and just find it. I don't want YouTube's help. I don't care about it anymore. Fuck YouTube, right? Just speak the truth, and if people are attracted to it and people want to contribute to it, they'll find you, right? That's the way it is, man. Attraction, not promotion. That's what I'm about, man. Attraction, right? Attract people to you. So thanks everybody for sharing. Thanks for coming by. Marcus Conte reporting here today. Thank you, everybody. Listen to some trying to get struck. Listen to that in some AM radio. Get some more wisdom on the way out.
The front row seat. Wouldn't you want to have input? Wouldn't you want to say, hey, I know how to do it, as opposed to do it this way?
She was lying in bed, wondering if she changed it all if her hair was still red.
Or whether it be a baseball team.
I don't want to just play the Dylan song because I'll get a whack for that. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit.
In the market that you happen to be working in, or what's going to lead to ultimately success on the baseball field. I've got people around me that I
together and do a little appearance.
How about Cuomo taking part in the president's regular briefing at 5 o'clock?
No, I don't think, the president. No, because Cuomo will fill upstage and he'll do one of his meatball stories, 6 hours on his grandfather who grew tomatoes in the garden. He'll talk about the meatballs for an hour now. Hey, when we come back, Lionel will be with us. What do you think about all this virus, where it came from and what's going on, and all these regulations and these lockdowns. We'll get to that in a moment. On 710, look at the latest news. Here's Joe Barton.
Brandon Blasio says the city will hold a ticker tape parade for medical workers once the pandemic is over. Also says the city is going to buy 3,000 bridge ventilators for $10 million. He says they are locally made and they'll be used to treat patients with less severe respiratory problems. Now, Cuomo meeting with the president at the White House today. Cuomo wants help with testing, which he says is needed before the state can reopen. President Trump says he's going to sign an executive order temporarily suspending immigration to the U.S., saying it's the attack from an invisible enemy and the need to protect the jobs of America. In New Jersey, Governor Murphy says he'll soon outline a blueprint for the state to reopen. It will include a key benchmark that needs to be hit. He will not put a timeline on it. He says if they reopen too soon, they risk a second